Hey everyone, Mike Cromwell here. I'm joined by Brian DeVault, my co-host on Whiteboard Wednesday. So welcome to the next new edition. Brian is on lockdown, preparing for a trip to the Bahamas, and therefore we can't be in the typical whiteboard today. So we're going to do our best to do it virtually. And we started off our series going deep into how Netrio, and for that matter, any MSP, onboards its managed services clients. A really key part of the process, and one that's critically important to get it right and to get the right outcome for the customer considering it. Today, we're going to pivot into a new topic. And what we're going to talk about today is the difference between white label versus agents. We're going to talk about two different variations of partners that Netrio works with. We have a 100% partner model at Netrio. And with that being said, there's two different variations for companies to consider. On the one hand, traditional channel partners, agents, IT consultants that are going to work with clients, advise them, help them through their journey, also known as trusted advisors. And we certainly have a significant piece of business that we do through traditional channel partners. But we also are known as the MSP of MSPs, where Netrio can enable a company to become a white label partner and deliver the same services that Netrio provides, enabling a partner to deliver it as their own. So we're going to talk about that today. So Brian, welcome back to Whiteboard Wednesday.
Thank you, Mike.
Whether you're going to develop a product yourself and take it to market yourself and through a direct sales model, or whether you're going to do it through channel partners or through white label, you have to get the product well defined first. So Brian, you want to walk us through this phase in terms of what good product management looks like at a high level?
You and I have discussed many times on many occasions the importance of productization of your service offerings. And that's really what we're talking about here. So it's through all the aspects of what the product looks like, how the customer is going to consume it or how they subscribe to it, what the scope of that service is that you've turned into a product, and making it into a subscription that's easy for the end user to consume. That's what we're talking about when we talk about the product offering. From there, you kind of move into pricing strategy. So that is evaluating the marketplace. You want to remain competitive. You got to make sure you're looking out for the business's bottom line as well at that point, obviously, but you want to make sure that you're positioned correctly in the market as well, so to win some deals. Documentation, having your product slicks, your brochures, your information that you can to put into your PowerPoint presentations to talk through with the customer. These are things that they're going to look at after you walk away and reference, and it needs to be concise and accurate and give enough information about the product that allows them to be able to take the next steps.
Can you share a little perspective in terms of how important that documentation is when you're talking about enabling partners to sell?
I think it's absolutely critical. You have a very complex product in these managed services offerings, and you got to get the product documented on paper so it explains accurately what the service is, what it provides, what the scope is, all those things that are going to be critical in that customer's decision to make a purchase, but also critical in educating the white label partner or the agent, whichever model they choose. They can go take this out into the market and it's that next step, that go-to-market strategy. They've got to be equipped with the right tools in order to sell it, and that product documentation is it. As we've spent years creating our product documentation, and we continue to refine it on a regular basis as our products evolve. So how much importance we place on it, and certainly it's for the purpose of sharing it with our partner community.
Yeah, because as you go to enable partners, training is a critical element of that, and you can't train if you don't have the proper documentation and process defined.
That's right. Yeah, there's a steep learning curve associated with managed IT services, especially for the traditional telecom agents or telecom brokers that haven't had a lot of experience in that space. And so the more that product documentation you can create up front and have it readily available for them to distribute is absolutely critical to the success of the engagement. And I think is the distinguishing factor between companies that will be successful with this strategy and the ones that will not. I think you've had some testimonials to that in some of your previous roles at other companies where you were able to demonstrate that without having the product documentation and the right go-to-market strategy, you've seen programs that were unsuccessful versus where you had the right tools and the right documents and the right training and everything else in place to get partners and agents trained up on a product or service, and you saw extreme wild success with it. There's definitely testimonials out there in the wild that support the production of the product documentation and the delivery of it and the usage of it within the sales cycle and so forth. So, which we'll get to more in a minute.
I've seen it both ways, Brian. I've seen the ones that have done it well, and I've seen ones that don't. And there's a huge difference in terms of not only the success and adoption of that product for the partner, but also what translates in the form of customer experience. The more documentation training you do, the better results you're going to have with your clients.